Hello and welcome. Today is Friday, September 12th, 2025, and this is the second of W Animation's videos posted to YouTube. Today we're going to go through looking at me animating our logo. So let's get to it. I first did this logo in Photoshop. But I wanted to animate it in Toon Boom Harmony, so I imported it in just as a bitmap, and then I traced it off quickly using vector tools. So right now I'm just going through doing that, plotting all the points. I did only half of each letter, and then I flopped it over for the other side. And same thing again with the A, flopped it over, and then did the center bar. And then once I had that in place, I wanted to add just some script at the bottom of our full studio name, which is W Animation Incorporated, INC. So I put that in down there. Just was trying to get the right size for what I wanted in comparison to the logo itself. And then I went through a whole bunch of different fonts to see what I felt worked well with the logo and what I wanted to have it look like and see what the audience would see. And initially I did all this on just a white background, so I was using black font. Later I changed that though. And I was just working through getting the right scale and everything. So once I had that, I started looking at how to get the letters that I'd drawn properly layered with each other so that it reflected our logo properly. Because the A actually is behind and in front of the W. So I had to break it apart and effectively do some rigging, but it's not really rigging, it's so simplified. It's just a little bit of breaking, let's call it. And then I started going through just trying to figure out how I wanted it to animate. Initially I wanted the W to fade on, and then I wasn't really sure how I wanted the A to come in, and so I thought about it a while and kind of brainstormed some ideas with our vice president, Jessica, and she and I talked about some different things, and I ended up just coming up with this idea of the A kind of just rolling up and kind of bouncing down onto the W into place, up and over that middle section. So I used the 3D peg option in Harmony so that I could actually have it rotate in Z depth very easily with just like 2 keys, and then I just had it lift up a little bit higher to get over that middle section and then come down. My first pass through I did it much slower. I had it like 2-3 times longer than what I landed with. It was working, but it was just too slow. So at the end, I ended up speeding it up quite a bit to give it a bit more of a peppier, nicer feel. And then as I was going through, I kept getting some intersections and things like that as the depth was changing. So I just kept adjusting for those things and adjusting timing, and as I got the timing good, I'd get a weird intersection, so I'd have to adjust for the intersection, and just all these small slight adjustments as I kind of honed it in. And each time you do an adjustment, you watch it a whole bunch of times and see how it's going, and then try again. At one point I had a fade on of the A as well. Kind of never really worked as I was going through it. I thought it might look nice to have it fade on as it was rotating up, but it didn't, so I got rid of that later. You'll see it just about to come up. I'll have a point where I tried using some cutters, and I was getting a lot of halo effects around those cutters, and the leveling just wasn't working out, so I was playing with different things here, and I just ended up adjusting the artwork properly, so to get rid of that, which is what I'm doing right here, is just extending the artwork so it's properly behind things, and then I don't have to worry about that at all, and it just works. And again, just trying different timing. And, like I said, I got rid of the transparency, so I had it go perfectly flat. But even when it's straight flat, you still get a very fine line. So I added a key so it would start off screen and then pop in to place and then rotate up. And then the one intersection with that center bar just wouldn't go away, so I just cheated it by adding an apply peg transformation and making sure it popped in front as needed. And then I started looking at the full title at the bottom, and at first I thought I would have it grow and fade up at the same time, which is what I'm adding the keys there for. But the grow didn't quite work, so I just shut it off and I just have it fade on, and that ended up looking nicer overall. And we're getting closer to the end. I'm just trying a few different things, finessing it a little bit more, making sure there's no intersections. Checking over and over again as we do, make sure it's all working how we want, and then in 2 seconds you'll see it. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a great day.